Nebraska's roster is going to look very different in a span of only a couple months. There have been many rumors over these past couple days that Husker star running back Emmett Johnson is preparing to leave Nebraska after this season. So let's talk about it. Is that actually going to happen? Is he going to the draft? Is he going to the portal? Is he going to stay with the Huskers? What does this mean for our future and the rest of our running back room, along with a couple other players who might not be here going into 2026? A certain wide receiver I have my eyes out for, a potential quarterback, some players on defense, and so much more. So really quick, this is a big time update going over the future of Nebraska's team. Hit that like button if you're fired up. And also, if you're a diehard Nebraska fan and you're not subscribed, what are you waiting for? For daily content talking Huskers, it's no brainer. Takes 2 seconds. Join the family. Hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much. But without further ado, we have a lot to talk about. It's safe to say Nebraska's roster is going to look completely different in 2026. There have been a bunch of rumors over these past couple weeks, over these past couple days, who's going to leave, who's going to stay. I mean, let's start things off with Emmett Johnson, because that's the big conversational point. There have been a lot of rumors about him entering the NFL draft, potentially going back in the transfer portal. He was initially going to leave Nebraska going into this season if Dana Holgorsen didn't convince him to come back. Or is Emmett Johnson going to stay? That's still on the table as well. So we know that Emmett Johnson, he's top 5 right now in America in rushing yards per game. He is 1,000 rushing yards on the season in only 9 ball games, 10 touchdowns, averaging 6 yards a carry. He's improved in almost every single aspect with his contact balance, his juke move, his spin move. He can break tackles. We've seen, the improvement in the pass pro, in the receiving department. He's a complete running back. He's a bell cow. He's proven himself. Every single expectation that anybody had from him, he's blew everything out of the water. And I tell you guys every single week when it comes to Emmett Johnson, count your lucky stars that he's here and he didn't go elsewhere. And also cherish him, because we do not know if he's going to be in Lincoln next season. So let's talk about Emmett. Not only will he leave Nebraska, should he leave Nebraska? Now, I'll tell you right now, I do believe Emmett Johnson should leave Nebraska and go to the NFL draft. He's not going to enter the portal. He's very loyal. He loves the Huskers. He loves this state. So let's get that out of the equation immediately. Emmett Johnson is not going back in the portal. The only reason why he entered the portal initially, as we've talked about on the channel, is because of his relation to the coaching staff and our former offensive coordinator. But that's out of the equation now. So Emmett will never leave us for the portal. The big conversation is whether or not he's going to leave us for the NFL draft, because we know that he has 1 year of eligibility remaining. He could go to the draft or he could come back. So should he? Not will he, should he? I will tell you right now that Emmett Johnson absolutely should go to the NFL draft. And I know that there's going to be a lot of selfish Nebraska fans who say, absolutely not. Emmett needs to come back. He's a loyal, teammate. He's a loyal person. He's going to come back to Nebraska. And you might not be wrong to talk about it, but for a career standpoint, for a money standpoint, it is absolutely in Emmett Johnson's best interest to go to the NFL draft. Number one, he's going to make more money in the NFL. We know that the Huskers, we do not value the running back position. We grossly underpaid Emmett Johnson. We only paid him $300,000 to come back. He's not even top 50 in America in top running backs paid. Okay, although the yardage is completely way better than everybody else, he's not getting paid anything. He could have got a lot more money at an SEC program, other Big Ten program. Nebraska lowballed him. And the only reason he came back is because of, once again, Dana Holgorsen, and he loves this state. He really never wanted to leave. So we know that Nebraska will probably give him a raise if he comes back. We'll probably give him, I'd say, $700,000, $800,000. But still, that's not anything compared to what you're going to get in the NFL as a rookie deal. We also know that, there's been a lot of mock drafts recently that have Emmett Johnson listed as a potential 4th-round pick, 3rd-round pick. Mel Kiper just listed Emmett Johnson as the 8th best running back in this year's cycle, just lower than Jeremiah Love, Justice Hayes, Jarian Price, Jonah Coleman, a couple others in there. And again, Emmett Johnson could continue to rise. He could be a top 5 running back. He could be a top 4 running back. So he's going to get drafted very high. He's not a 7th-round pick. He's going to be a 2nd, 3rd, 4th-round pick. So absolutely Emmett should leave. If you were to come back, what are the positives of him coming back? Number one, he's already an old running back. He's already 22 years old. If you come back, you're going to become damaged goods. You're going to potentially get injured. These NFL teams won't view you the same because, again, you have less upside given the fact that you're so old that he's going to be a 5th-year senior. And also, if Emmett were to come back next year, it would be obviously great for this offense. It's not going to be good for his career because he's not going to replicate what he's doing this season. He's not going to have more yardage. because we have an awful running back room right now. The reason why Emmett's stats are so good is because there's nobody competing with him. Our running back 2 is a true freshman wide receiver, for crying out loud. The only reason why Emmett's stats are, as good as they are, even though Emmett's a great player, is because he's our bell cow. But next year, our running back room is going to be improved. Next year, we're going to have some studs in the running back room. We're probably going to have a transfer. We'll have a true freshman in there who's really good. So, Emmett Johnson will not have as big of a workload next season. And that's going to hurt his draft stock. So at the end of the day, if you really value Emmett Johnson and the money that he makes, his future career, he wants to go to the NFL, it is absolutely, unequivocally in his best interest to leave the Huskers. And Nebraska just has to find somebody in the portal to replace him. Now, the question is, will he leave Nebraska? Because he should. He absolutely should go to the NFL draft, but will he? That's definitely up in the air. And Emmett Johnson, he's very loyal. He wants to win better than anybody else. And he carries this offense week in and week out. And I do believe there's a lot of things in his heart that wants him to tie back to Nebraska to stay with the Cornhuskers. But I think the reason is going to outweigh the love. His brain is going to outweigh his heart. So I do believe if Emmett is truly valuing his future like I am, like the rest of Husker fans are, and he has a true conversation with Matt Rule, he's going to decide to go to the NFL draft because that is the best decision for him in his future. It really is. So Emmett Johnson, I believe, will not be at Nebraska in 2026. I think that's the expectation. Again, when you have a player as good as him, you can't expect him to be here all 5 years. You just can't. I think that's selfish. I think there's a lot of Husker fans who are selfish and prioritize the team and its success over one player and, his future earnings and his future career. And let's just call a spade a spade. If Emmett Johnson wants to make money and he wants to have a successful NFL career, it's in his best interest to leave Nebraska and go succeed in the NFL because he'll be a very high draft pick. So that's a conversation around Emmett Johnson, but let's get to a couple other players who I think could potentially leave Nebraska, whether it's in the portal, whether it's in the NFL draft. Let's start things off with Nyziah Hunter. This is a really interesting case to me because Nyziah Hunter has been Nebraska's best receiver this year, and it isn't even particularly close. He has about 40 receptions, 555 receiving yards, 5 touchdowns, 15 yards per catch. Nyziah's been money, and he's been our most consistent receiver. Dane Key's been on the milk carton for the last 5 weeks. Same deal with Jacory. Nyziah, he's been great. He's always getting open. He's getting separation in man coverage. He's getting separation in zone coverage. He's not the flashiest player in the world. Again, he doesn't have the jump ball ability like Dane. He's not as fast as Jacory. He's not as shifty as Jacory, but yet he's the most productive. So Nyziah, the reason why I bring this up, I don't know if he'll go to the draft. I don't think he's there yet, but I'm sure he's going to get some interest in the portal. And he's going to get some teams who tamper. No question about it. And it also should be noted, of the 3 receivers between him, Jacory, and Dane, he's getting paid the least. So Nebraska, they have to treat him like a priority. They just have to say, you know what, Nyziah, we're going to up your pay, no question about it. You're going to be the highest paid receiver on this team, and we're going to do whatever it takes to keep you here going to 26. Because I guarantee you, there's going to be some big-time squads who want him. Same way that Jacory Barney was wanted last year. So Nyziah, there is a chance he transferred out, but Nebraska, they have to be ready to combat that and have to be ready to keep him here. I want to quickly talk about Dylan because I've received a lot of questions about Dylan, his future in Nebraska. Of course, he's out for the rest of the season. I think we're not in a good situation with TJ starting because now if TJ balls out, if TJ potentially goes 3-0 in these final 3 games, we have a real quarterback battle on our hands going into 26. And Dylan does not want to be a part of a quarterback battle. He's going to feel slighted if he's not just handed the quarterback job next season. And honestly, there should be a quarterback battle because Dylan hasn't played his best football. So in a bad world or I shouldn't say bad world, but in a possible world where TJ balls out, goes 3-0, TJ might be our guy going to 26, and Dylan will probably transfer out because he received a lot of money transfer last year and he declined all of it. I think Miami offered him $5 million transfer there and he declined it. So who says that Dylan really wants to have a quarterback battle? I don't know. But here's the other scenario. Or let's say TJ stinks it up and TJ's not very good. Well, TJ might transfer then. So I think now we're in a really bad predicament. Now with TJ getting exposure, without TJ playing, I think it's really, really hard for Nebraska to keep both these guys here next year. I think it's either TJ's going to transfer or Dylan's going to transfer. And again, just kind of depends on how well TJ plays. Because if TJ balls out like he probably will, there's going to be a real quarterback battle. And do you really think Dylan Dylan's a good quarterback, but with his ego, do you really think Dylan wants to go through all that? I don't know. That's a conversation. That's nuanced. Again, we don't know anything. These final 3 games are going to really decide that. But that'll be a huge conversational point. Then a couple others. Elijah Pritchett, we know he has 1 year left. What at the point with Elijah? He's not going to the draft. He's not going to the draft, but I think it should be noted, like, it'll be interesting to see if Elijah transfers. I don't think he will. I think he will be a starter next year at probably left tackle. I mean, he's getting better, so I think Elijah will stay. I know I've got that question. Cameron Lenhardt, this is somebody on the D-line who I absolutely believe will transfer. He was considering transferring last year when Terrence Knighton left. I mean, he's been bad this year, man. He's been bad. And he's a culture fit. He's a culture guy. Everybody likes him, but he's just not progressing throughout his career. And I do believe it's probably in his best interest to leave, and I think that's probably what he's going to do. So I think Cameron Lenhardt, somebody probably won't be here next year. Just kind of speculating. Justin Evans, I think, is interesting. He might go to the NFL draft. I think there's a lot of NFL scouts who kind of like Justin Evans. He's undersized for sure, but he's been our best offensive lineman this year, maybe even better than Spindler. He had a really good game versus Northwestern, had a really, really good game versus USC. He's very much improved in the run game, which was his issue last season. So, hey, Justin Evans, just watch out for that. I mean, he has some NFL interest. He might, forego his final year of eligibility and go to the draft. I mean, that's definitely a conversational point. And then last but not least, Andrew Marshall's interesting. Marshall won't go to the draft, I don't think, but I'm sure he'll get some portal interest. I'm sure there's going to be some teams who tamper with him. Again, while he hasn't played perfect this year, we've seen the flashes. I think, honestly, he's the most important player that Nebraska needs to keep on this defense because the secondary is going to be completely brand new next year. I mean, we lose Deshaun, we lose Marquez Buford, we lose Sear Wright. We have Hartzog coming back. That's cool, but we need Marshall to come back as well. So Nebraska, they need to up Marshall's pay because I think he could be one of the best corners in America next year. I mean, we've seen the flashes. He's starting to put it all together. We need to keep him here, but I'm sure he's going to get interest in the portal. So wanted to talk about all that because, again, it's nuanced, man. There's a lot that could happen within these next couple weeks, next couple months. We're getting to transfer portal season. We're getting to tampering season. The roster's going to look different next year in Nebraska. We have to not only get talent in the portal, but we have to make sure that our talent that we currently have here stays. So, all right, guys, let me know your thoughts down below, but everything, I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of comments. You maybe disagree with me, agree with me, everything in between. So let me know what you're thinking down below. Hey, if you made this far, you know what to do. Hit that like button and subscribe. As always, folks, go ahead, go Metal Roll, and I'll see you in the next one.